Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. This is my y&ymission. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well. My y&ymission teaches the 100% truth doctrine as GMS. I want to just bring out this article and some scriptures. Basically, they saying that they want to reduce the flights at National Airport, DCA, because of that incident with the regional jet and the helicopter. Okay. And we know ultimately that was through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, to have that happen. But Esau is trying to capitalize off of that in order to bring his new world order in, an MOTB, eventually. So look, it says 2 U.S. senators are calling on Congress to reduce the number of daily flights at Reagan National Airport, citing new reporting by the Washington Post that details serious safety risks tied to the volume of traffic at the airport, including on the night of a fatal June 29th collision between a regional jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter. Now, if anybody knows anything about DCA, if you're old enough to know, most likely a millennial, okay, you know that pre-September 11th, 2021, 2001, this airport was very busy. It was a very busy airport, and then they did that shutdown, the tires fell and all that. September 11th happened. Then they reduced the flights there, okay? And these pilots need a special permission and class of a flight license to even enter the DCA, Washington DC airspace. Okay, so the flights have already been diminished as much as possible, but like I said, they're using that incident that happened earlier this year as another way to put a clamp down on air travel to coincide with these federal takeovers of the cities. And remember, like I was saying, they're going to go after the cities and they're going to go after the airports. That's what they want to do. They eventually want to tighten these airports up and tighten them down, just like the cities. Because remember, the Federal Aviation, FAA, basically mandates and runs. The feds run the airports, and all these major cities in the country have at least one or two or more airports in their vicinity that's very close, and they're going to capitalize that to be able to control and or stop air travel and movement of people. Okay, so while many risk factors may be reevaluated, Congress needs to start by rolling back the additional flight slots and forcibly crammed into last year's FAA Reauthorization Act. Okay, see, they want to roll back flights. All right, and the flights don't even come into that airport not as dense as they used to be in past decades and whatnot. So like I said, they're trying to get ready to keep DC under their thumb, the feds. Okay, and they want to establish who goes in and goes out with checkpoints and air authority. So they're going to do anything they can to roll back these flights. Plus, stuff keeps happening. The Heavenly Father keeps making these planes have issues. Okay, the air traffic controllers are not being vigilant. He's putting the spirit on them to be lax. He's putting the spirit on the pilots, the flight crews to do dangerous maneuvers, not be mindful, not pay attention, and it's costing these airlines money. These airlines are going out of business. You see, Spirit is predicted to go under by the end of the year, early part of next year. Okay, and the Heavenly Father is going to bring down the rest of these airlines as well. All right, so pretty soon it's going to be goddamn near impossible to fly, okay, anywhere. And then I brought out the video, the short of the guy saying that, in the coming months, people were going to be profiled at certain airports, and they're going to change ICE over into the morality police. So Yahweh has been speaking about this, and he's been warning, okay, through these incidents with flight crews, with passengers, with maintenance issues, with bird strikes, okay, with ATC and airport shutdowns and ground stops. He's been warning and trying to let you all know, okay, let Esau know, but he doesn't want to pay attention, okay? Esau wants to still make his money, all right? And these planes and these airlines are going under. They're hemorrhaging money, okay? So, let me get, okay. Job 33:14, for Yahweh speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not, right? So he's, not even in dreams, okay? A lot of people are getting dreams and visions of different things, but also he's speaking by, certain things that are happening. You remember the U.S. airline industry was one of the safest, if the safest in the world up until last 5 years, okay? And it's getting worse and worse, okay? And Esau sees that, so he wants to save face and try to get ahead of what Yahweh is doing by shutting this thing down, but trying to have a controlled shutdown. You know how Esau is, all right? So Yahweh is speaking, okay? But man perceiveth not. And these people still getting on these flights and whatnot, but and it's a lot of people that are scared to get on these flights as well. So we just have to wait and see. Okay, Ecclesiastes 12:4. Okay, what is it? Okay, hold on. Ecclesiastes 12:4, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low. Right, okay, so like I said, these airline industries, they want to shut down these airports. These airports are having issues and whatnot. They're being shut down or having ground stops more often. Okay, air traffic controllers are making more mistakes. Okay, so these airports routes already are being cut by certain airlines to domestically locations in the U.S. already. Spirit is one of them. Southwest. Okay, so the Heavenly Father is shutting this thing down. He's grinding, going to bring this airline industry to a grinding halt pretty soon. Okay. 2nd Ezra 15:17, a man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Right. Okay, they're going to double back on these federalization takeovers of the cities, and they're going to include these airports into it too. Like I said, all right, we got the real ID. Everybody basically has their real ID, and certain people can't get their real ID. Okay, and are being left with no ID. So a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, and that's either flying or driving to a certain extent. And then this thing with these the left and the right heating up, okay, that's going to also lead to lockdowns in the city as well, and ground stops with airport and aircraft travel. All right. Obadiah 1:4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, there hence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. And we know how Esau does. He believes that, his flight, his technology, and him flying, he exalts himself as the eagle, okay, and he won't be brought down, but the Heavenly Father is bringing him down, okay. He's shutting down the airline industry. He's gonna eventually have the feds take over these airports fully, militaristically, all right, and put checkpoints on these cities, okay. All right, so Esau is being brought down, okay, and his airlines, okay, his airline industry is crumbling. The airlines are losing money hand over fist. They're hemorrhaging. They're not able to get the passenger requirements that they need to have sustained business, all of them, okay, are going to eventually be up out of here. All right. So I just wanted to bring that out, basically, like, it's going to start with one, and what better way to start with national? You started with DC with the federal takeover, and now you're going to start by shutting down one of the busiest international airports in the country. Okay, it's DCA. Okay, Reagan National Airport. All right, so this is all good. These are omens from the Lord. The Lord is speaking, and eventually, once they get a hold of DC the way they want to, with land and air, Esau is going to shut this thing down, man. He's coming down with great wrath. Look, the report also detailed in the way which American Airlines, okay, dominant carrier at national design its schedule contribute to the crash. Right, they have their own terminal. It used to be U.S. Air terminal, but this country used to have so many airlines from coast to coast, and now it's only like 4 or 5, if that. Okay, right now. Well, you got United, America, and Southwest, and Delta. Really, that's 4. Yep. So they're about to all be up out of here pretty soon. So I just wanted to bring that out. All right. So with that, I like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. Shalom.